Hi, continuing today's thought, and today's thought is going to be about immigration. And in expressing this thought, we will be going to Sweden. Now, why Sweden? You'll find out in a moment. But I just want to mention about Sweden. Sweden was a unique, well, I guess you could call Sweden the Florida of Scandinavia, or the common sense country. Remember COVID, coronavirus. Businesses shut down, all of us bludgeoned into wearing masks, except for Florida and one other place, Sweden. Two places with common sense. And as we now know, these masks made no difference whatsoever. So, businesses were closing and people were stuck in their houses, or at least where I was for 2 weeks, and then if I didn't have my mask on, I remember Starbucks, I would get up just for a moment and I would just kind of hold the mask in front of my face because there was nobody around me, and somebody from behind the counter, one of the baristas screaming at me, put on your mask, put on your mask. I remember once being in a Kroger supermarket and somebody coming, nobody around me, and somebody from 30 feet away running over me to say, put on your mask, put on your mask. Well, and somebody, one of the guys, a guy behind the deli counter chased me all over the Kroger saying, put on your mask, put on your mask. But Florida had the common sense not to do that, and Florida was fine. Scandinavia, Sweden was fine too, and they are the common sense country, and that brings us now to immigration. You say, how does this? Well, it's just that Sweden does things differently. And by the way, those some of our liberal friends like to say how socialism works, and they cite Sweden. Sweden is not socialist, okay? They are not, and that's a subject for another day. But we're talking about immigration, so let's now go to the headline. And Donald Trump should love this headline. It would be really great if he could see it. Sweden has more emigrants than immigrants for the first time in half a century. Last year's trend of fewer asylum seekers in Sweden and fewer residence permits granted continues. According to the Swedish Migration Agency's prognosis, Sweden is on track to have the lowest number of asylum seekers since 1997, and for the first time in over 50 years, Sweden has net emigration. While the number of asylum seekers in the European Union has stabilized at a high level, it continues to decline in Sweden. Up to 28th of July this year, that would be 2024, a total of 5,600 asylum applications have been registered. This is a decrease of 27% compared to the same period last year. According to the Swedish Migration Agency, this year, Sweden will most likely have the lowest number of asylum seekers since 1997. And now you may be wondering, how'd they do it? What was the magical formula? What is the formula that Donald Trump could use to have a net emigration from the United States, to have more, besides rounding up the ones already here and having the mass deportations, but also going forward to have fewer coming in here? Well, what's the magic formula? How did Sweden do it? And again, the answer is just common sense. And here it is from, he calls himself the Department of Decline, but this is, I just put up his, I don't know what you call him these days. I still call him tweets, even though it's X and not Twitter anymore. Anyways, Sweden has now turned its immigration into a net outflow. They did this very complicated trick. Number one, stop letting people in. Number two, stop giving any money to the ones already here. So hard, I doubt any developed nation could copy it. Well, of course, that's a joke. I can think of, I would think any developed nation, if they have common sense like Sweden, could copy it. I'm thinking specifically of this one. Now, we have Donald Trump. He's he's taking care of number one, which is to let fewer people in. The second part, admittedly, because of liberal Democrats, will be harder, which is stop giving money to the people already here. And, well, I actually may have a little more to say about that, but as it is right now, I see no indication of just not giving them any money, because they come here and they get all these benefits, and this idea of how these immigrants are contributing and working and helping the economy. Yeah, some are, but a lot of them, and I would say most, the ones who are low skilled and low education, they're a drain on resources. And the solution is stop putting them up in hotel rooms and giving. I know it would be hard. I know it sounds cruel, but actually, if they're migrating, they're coming in, and they're going all over the country. So they go, let's say, to New York City, where it's cold in the winter. But if they stayed in Texas, Texas is warm, and they could be comfortable. They won't be freezing or anything. And actually now Texas is setting up 10 cities, centers to hold all these people. So there's no reason why we can't just stop giving them money and stop supporting them. And Sweden did it, admittedly a smaller country, but they made it work. And, well, to me, it's just common sense. Will it happen? I won't hold my breath, but one can always hope. As, for instance, I could hope that you'll subscribe to this channel. We'd love it if you would. If you have any comments, are always welcome in the comment sections below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. But most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.